Hello, welcome to the next video in our series. In this module, you will learn how to use a text component. This component allows you to insert and format text content, as well as add images and format tables. We will cover placement, editing tools, and styles in this video. To place a text component on the page, you must be within the editing window. You will know you're in the editing window if you see the sidekick. Locate the sidekick, scroll through the general items, to find the component labeled text. Click and drag this component onto the page. You will note that a dotted outline appears where the text can be placed. There's also a green check mark box in the icon you are dragging. If you drag the icon into an area that cannot hold a text component, a red line will go through it, the universal symbol for do not. When you let go of your mouse and the dotted line is present, a light gray paragraph sign will appear. This indicates your component has been placed. The component can be moved with or without content anywhere on the page the text components are allowed. Just note, the text component is one of the most frequently used components in AEM. To help you decide whether to use a single component for all of your text or to separate them into multiple text components, consider when portions of your content may be referenced on another AEM page or website. Also consider the perspective of the reader. Large blocks of text are rarely read carefully and usually only skimmed. However, too much white space between text interrupts the flow of ideas and reduces readability. Now, to fill the text component, hover your cursor over the paragraph mark. Then right-click within the border of the text component and choose Edit. You will see in the window that appears a text field or white box. To insert content, you can paste copied content using shortcuts on your keyboard. You can paste content copied from another website, a Word document, PDF, or email. Most of the formatting will be preserved, but you should always check to make sure. Above the text field is the Rich Text Editing toolbar. Here you will find traditional editing tools such as hyperlink, bulleted and numbered lists, tables, and format. So let's review them now. As discussed earlier, you can use any of the traditional cut and paste tools that you see in Microsoft Word. These two buttons, the Find and Replace, help you locate content within your text box and either replace it or just simply find it. Then we have your traditional undo and redo buttons, and of course your regular Word options: bold, italics, underline, subscript, and superscript. Next we have ways to align text: left, center, and right. I'm skip over these for now, come back to them later. Outdent, indent, spell check, creating a table, which allows you to use a wizard to do so, inserting special characters such as copyright, etc., as well as source edit, which I will go over later. As promised, we're now going to talk a little bit about linking. So in order to get started with linking, you have to highlight some text inside your text box. So I'm going to do that now. The globe is highlighted. I click on it and a pop-up window appears. It's important to understand what you're going to be linking to because the path you'll follow will be different. If you're going to link to materials inside AEM, another page or something within the website, we're going to use the magnifying glass over here. If you're going to be linking to something external to AEM, such as a Google map or a PDF outside of our website, you're going to need to use HTTP or HTTPS. I'm going to link to something inside, so here I'm going to click the magnifying glass and find my page. Click OK when you're done, and again, it is now linked. In order to unlink it, you simply click the unlink button. Now let's talk a little bit about editing. You can edit in one of two ways: in-component editing or in-place editing. In-component editing is what we're doing here, using the pop-up window and text box. This editing mode provides the most direct support for your editing needs. Simply insert the text, use the buttons at the top of the bar to shape the text as you require. However, you may occasionally need to use what is called in-place editing. For example, when editing long pieces of text, it is much easier to do so directly on the page instead of in-place editing. To trigger in-place editing, click inside the text box when it is light green. It will turn dark green Wait a moment, click again, it now turns orange. You will notice that all of the editing tools have now moved up here, so they're still available to you. I'm going to go ahead and make this a bulleted list. To exit, simply click outside the orange box, and all of your edits will be preserved. You may also choose to edit using the HTML code. This is referred to source edit in AEM. To do that, double click on it, your text box will appear, and you'll click on this very last button that we referred to earlier. Here you see the HTML appearing. You can edit here, and when you're done, simply click back to regular text. One final feature of the text component is the CSS class field. This allows you to input an optional class name that will apply a style to the contents. You simply type the name of the class or style into this field to activate it. A list of available styles is located on our CMS help site. Finally, to delete a component, simply hover over the component, right-click, and hit delete. Since this is a destructive action, it will always confirm that you are certain you want to do this. I'm going to click yes. This tutorial covers the key elements of creating and editing a text component for your page. Consider reviewing other videos in this series to learn more about making your page amazing.